Hi everyone, good morning. Today I've decided to talk about one sensitive topic that is defined by culture, religion, and community. I would like to talk about circumcision, male circumcision, or should I say the mutilation of sex organ to suit or to define its natural occurrence. I've read and watched many discussions concerning the benefits of circumcision. I'd like to draw you to the fact that the practice goes way back some 4,000 years ago, in the Mediterranean and the Middle East. I think even as far as the Chinese civilization, there's been records of male circumcision. Having said that, somebody mentioned to me that we are defined by two factors of life. One is where you've been, the second is whom you've been with. Having said that, you may find that if somebody was born in Europe, okay, regardless of the race, his behavior or his culture will be more oriented to that of the European setup. If somebody was born in the South America, obviously he will be affected by or influenced by the culture of South American. Same applies if somebody was born in Africa. I've heard of people who say much of the practices are driven by the spiritual or ancestral inclination, which define that, if certain rituals are not performed, that child won't be accepted. And others have gone in as far as saying, if a person is not circumcised, when they die, the spirit would move around those who have remained. So we are faced with these challenges where people feel, if I don't do this, the society won't accept me. And on the other side, the others feel like, if I do this, the society or the culture won't welcome me. People from let's say the Bantu speaking area that is more in the Central Africa Republic, I've noticed that when it comes to ritual or ancestral worshipping or practicing of certain tradition, they are more relaxed say compared to the people in the southern area. That's why it's very common to see a child who's 2 months walking around with the beads or moving around with the beads around their waist or on their arm or even in the neck, and they feel that will protect the child from the evil spirits. And on the other side, it doesn't matter how a child, when a child comes into the earth, they don't bother about putting anything to protect the spirit. So that works well for them, and on the other side, it works well for them. The issue I have with choosing how somebody's future or how somebody is gonna live based on the tradition or his parents or his or her parents, tradition, I feel it's about time that we changed the way we look at our children. For example, there are certain things that tradition would enforce on a child. Like some people feel it's better to circumcise a child who's 2 months. Okay? Now, what does the child know, and what are his rights? So how would he defend himself? Yes, laws in certain areas would prohibit you from doing anything to the child. And on the other side, there are no laws basically that will protect a child. They say he's more, subjected to how the parents feel. That's why they can baptize a child, or if the other parents don't feel like baptizing the child, that's fine. They can introduce the child to the ancestors. So the bottom line is the child has got no say in all these practices. Coming to the main issue, why I felt I should talk about circumcision. This is an irreversible procedure. So when you take a child who's less than 10 years and totally dependent on the decision of the parents and perform such procedure, we discover that yes, in some areas, if it was done for the purpose of medical reason or health reason, that's fine. But if it's for the culture, when this child gets into the adulthood, he might find that maybe it doesn't work for him, or it worked for him. Now, in an event that it doesn't work for him, he would be more resentful and closed up, because he will realize that he was let down by the society. I would suggest that if this practice has to continue, let us give it time for a child to make a decision when they are 21. Moreover, what does a child know between 2 months and 18 years? Yes, some would argue that some children would engage into sexual acts at the earlier age, at the tender age of 13. So to avoid them from being infected, the circumcision would reduce or the chances of him contracting sexually transmitted diseases. There's very little scientific proof or benefit of doing that. Apart from others would say, well, it's more hygienic. But the way a body member was designed, by nature, it's got its own way of adapting or adjusting as a child matures or as a person matures. So you find that others may not have gone through that procedure, but they are able to keep the hygienic body. The body will still be, clean. We are faced with the HIV epidemic, where there's been a campaign, by the Soul and a group who feels when a person is circumcised, it reduces the chances of that person contracting HIV. Having said that, if we are to look at the statistics, or the world has to provide us the statistics, the number of people that have died with HIV being circumcised and those who have not been circumcised, I think the comparison is very significant. Regardless of whether you're circumcised or not circumcised, you will get sick if you expose yourself to a person who's got the virus. So, religion, yes, as much as it defined the society or the community, we need to approach it in a more liberal way by, being open-minded and feel, okay, fine, this was written and I found it with my parents or my ancestors has been practicing this, but in this modern time, is this applicable? If it's not, then why continue doing it? Other things that that has come up with the society, I think it's in West Africa, where there is also female circumcision, because there is a belief that when a female is circumcised, then they would have less, or they would drop the affinity or the desire to have sex, and it will reduce the chances of that person to cheat. Okay, so that is the community that is more concerned about the male satisfaction, without taking into consideration the woman, whether the woman's right, basically, whether they would have a say or choose to do that or not. The other danger with this practice, a lot of children, have died in the procedure, or the others would be, left permanent, damaged, and they cannot function well. I would rather we debate this more and hear people's views, maybe enact a law that will prevent male circumcision, especially at a tender age. Let it be a choice to anyone. If I decide to do it at the age of 21 or not, it will be up to me. If my partner feels I should do it, then and I consent to it, then I can go and do it. Or let anyone disclose that, okay, in my culture, this has never been practiced, or this is a practice, and I would not engage myself or involved with somebody sexually who has performed or was not performed this procedure. Also, the other thing of subjecting a 12-year child into these tradition teachings where they have to go into some tradition schools or training, the application is very insignificant. When you come out from that, what are you going to apply in this modern day society? That's why we've got most relationships fail, because when a child comes out of that community or environment, his expectations when he engages or when he finds a partner, he would be drawing influence from the practices that he was indoctrinated to him. So he expects a woman to behave in a certain way, and he's met with a woman who's basically from a different society where she's not really expected to perform or carry the duties as was introduced or indoctrinated to this child when he was 14. We've got a cultural crash. Okay, you expect a woman to bow down or to elevate the in-laws because that's what you were taught by your culture. And then this person says, no, come on, I'm married to you, so I expect you and I to have a balance, sale or, in our relationship. So if we have to do certain things, let it be acceptable in my view and your views, not where, because you were taught that your wife should be submissive and the children that you have belong to you and your family, and every holiday you are forced to travel to your family with your partner. Okay, fine. What about his families and his relatives? And this thing of having, because your culture introduced you to certain values where you feel your parents should be taken care of as a primary concern, and your wife's parents should be secondary because you are the breadwinner, and you have to ensure that you satisfy where you come from. So all these teachings, is what comes out from all those, community-based, what is the right way to use, or when they take them in, for a month or so. Some countries, or some cultures, they even go to the bushes or to the mountains, and then after that period, then the child is introduced into the society, and then at that moment they will say, okay, you are now accepted to be called a man. In East Africa, obviously the Maasai, they practice that. I feel it's not necessary. And the modern society, obviously, with the available technology, some of the things can be done remotely or without practicing certain culture or things that we were taught by the people who lived, 50 years or so, who practice certain things. The things have changed now, It's like one saying, look, instead of you bringing your mother to stay with us, why don't we employ a caretaker and send them to be with her? Because then that means her privacy will be protected. And like going and bring an elderly person into the house and keep that elderly person who will be restricted because of the culture that this generation is subjected to. Yeah, not because, please bear with me, I'm not running away from the main subject, which I started with saying culture or society defines who we are. Now, should we be compelled to live and continue promoting or practicing what our parents did? Okay. Or should we be given chance to define or to create our own culture and our own society where certain things will be accepted according to the time we are in? Okay? It will be important for parents to consider this and protect a boy child and ensure that such practice is saved for a later stage in a child's life when they reach the age of consent. Then they can make decisions. And it's important for parents of a male child to explain that, yes, as you enter into adolescence, you would see, friends who probably have gone through certain, they've done certain things to their body based on their culture. That does not make you a lesser person, because there will come a time when you would understand, or you won't understand why those things were done, and it will be at that time that you can decide what you want to do. As parents, it's important that we keep on supporting our children, elevating them and protect them, so that we can create a well-balanced community and society. Thank you.